Today I'm going to talk about a project I'm very bullish at, Saiba Gang. I'm really bullish to this project. And let's take a look into what happened in the process of this project. I want to give you an overview of this project in general. So the first time I heard about this project was roughly in September 24. By the end of September, I saw about this project in Twitter, and it caught my attention. Of course, the art itself, also this theme-based project based on manga, right? So that's the first time I took a look into the project itself, but I was also looking into other projects at that moment, right? And then eventually, around mid October, I saw they delineated a roadmap about their project, and they were announcing that the minting of the project would occur in November 1st. But when I took a look into the project itself, to these different lines for the roadmap, I noticed they had a really good roadmap. They started building their community, building the story around the Saiba gang. They were talking about the mean and how they will establish the community funds and so on, the airdrops itself. And then something that caught my attention was that they were talking about doing some burn and fusion mechanics, and they talk about how other projects are trying to do these, but really there's some projects that have not been really successful in that end, and this project is actually looking to use the money to pay Solana developers to do this part of the project itself. And then going into the second part of the series, that is Case Collective. This is what would be basically the antagonist of the Saiba gang, and then building a comic series, building also a DAO, and so on. So these really grabbed my attention in the project itself. I said, okay, this project looks good. Now, we are talking about mid-October, and when it was mid-October, I was actually being involved in other projects, other NFT projects that were launched. If you take a look into another video posted about if we are in an Solana NFT market, I talk about how many projects launch in a very short period of time, and how at the beginning many projects were minted basically in a matter of minutes, seconds, and suddenly projects, as time went by, projects were not minting immediately, and even there were many good projects. Other projects were not that good, but in general, some good projects were not even minting immediately. Some of them were taking days, and so on, right? So at that time, I was involved in other projects, and I said I will keep an eye in this project. I joined their Discord community and saw that there were gathering people into their community, and they were growing their community, slowly growing their community. So that's the first thing I noticed, right? So I said I will keep an eye, and when we reach mint day, I will decide if I mint or not, right? So that's one of the things. So of course, you can take a look into their website. I went to take a look into their website. Now this project is sold out, but basically you go to the website and take a look. Basically, it's a story. I'm not going to read through everything, but it's a story that is taking place in the year 2167 in a city that is called Winter Moon City. So that's the place where everything is taking place, and there is this punk of cybernetic band that it's called the Saiga gang. So basically they are against what they call Case Collective. That is some technocrats that to control of the city, and are making the life difficult of these teens that are need to fight and still to survive, right? So this is the story between the battle between these two different groups, right? And you can go into the roadmap here. You just take a look into the roadmap. It's roughly to what I already show you there, but here you can see a more detailed part of the roadmap, and so on, right? So it's a very interesting project at the moment. The mint already occurred, as I already show here. This project is sold out. But basically there will be some airdrops and so on. And what's interesting is that eventually there will be a drop of the case collective, right, of the antagonist of the Saiba gang, right? So this is very, very interesting from this project, right? If you want to know more information from the project itself, just take a look into the website. Of course, they have a team. This team is semi-anonymous. There's some people that are public figures, other they run by different names, but you can go to their different Twitter accounts and so on, right? So it's good. And besides the information you can find in their website, also they have a lot of information in Medium. You can find a little bit about the story of Winter Moon and a little bit more extent story of what is in their website. Just take a look into it. It's very nice. It's all the concept, all the story behind the Saiba gang. And something important is that each of these members of are divided in different, the city is divided in different portions. One is called the port side, the other is called the industrial district, the other is the night quarter, and the other is the dregs, and this is the tower where the antagonists are situated, right? So when you get one of these NFTs, your NFT will be part of one of these different divisions, right? So very, very interesting concept, right? So that's from the part overall. Take a look of the project itself. Now, I wanna get through something that is very interesting about this project and is coming back in here is how the meeting worked, right? So they were going to launch November 1st, and as I said, there were a lot of projects that were being launched in that timeline, right? And projects started struggling, right? By their meeting process, other projects were having technical difficulties and so on, right? So originally in this project, a total of 8,888 NFTs were going to be mint. So that's how these started. If you take a look into their Twitter, in their first tweets, that's what they said, right? But what happened in reality? What happened at the mint? Let's take a look into the timeline of the mint. And I took a look into that. When the mint date came, I said, okay, I will not mint at the moment. I don't know what's going to happen. I was heavily involved in other projects, so I was just taking a look in the silent of what was going to happen. If it would sold out immediately, okay, that would be great for the group. If not, no, but I was looking into their Discord. So they started the minting November 1st, and even before the mint started, they put this in Twitter. We know the mint would be a slow roll. They were pretty aware of this situation, and even they're aware of this situation in their Discord community. They were communicating this. They were transparent with the team. Okay, so they were aware of the expectations. First thing, with the way things have been in the ecosystem, they're talking about Solana, NFT projects in general, means have been slower in this month. Of course, in this it involves like late October, right? So this is before the mint, right? They are expecting that their project will be minted very slowly and but steady, right? So what is very interesting when they show these words in their Discord community before the minting, they said we win as a community by everyone pushing the mint forward, right? So this is something very, very, very nice, right? So they started the mint. They are they understand that the foundation of the project is the community itself, right? So they won. The mint it started, and then we go into day two, November 2, and they came with a second message on day 2, and they decided we want to announce that our supply for this initial mint will be reduced to half of it, right? So they decided to see this because of course the first day the project was not sold out. It was not even close to being sold out, right? So they said we foresee this total mint process to take several days. They're not talking about a couple of days, they're talking about several days. So What the approach they took is having authentic people filling this community is extremely important to them, right? I would much rather have a community twice as small. They prefer having a smaller community, but twice as strong than the other way around. Look at this. These words is really, really great, right? So the developers of the project, founders of the project, found that it was a much better strategy just reducing the number of NFTs, but having a stronger community. And this is so awesome. When I read those words the first time, I saw really this is a team that is really, really getting involved, is understanding the problematic that NFTs are facing and what's the best approach to solve the problem. And they found a way around, right? Just reduce the number of NFTs, whoever means it will build a stronger community. And those words are really, really nice. I don't know who's really behind this project, putting these words. Of course, I know by their nickname, but really, really a person that is thinking this very, very, very wisely. And then they said here we can plan to reopen the mint in the following months after we've proven ourselves to the community and taught wider Solana ecosystem. So they're talking once we prove we are good as a community, good as a project, then maybe we continue with the minting, yes or not. So very, very good decision, very, very good approach. And when I saw those words, I said I will follow this project until the end and I will see what I will do, right? I was not intending to invest in no NFT project, but after seeing that, I wanted to see how these things was going to evolve because it's not the first project is having this problem, right? So we are second day, right? Second day, and they decided to reduce this. Now, day three, they almost went to 50% of their meat. So yeah, good. November 4th, almost. Well, they are now at 50%, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and they are just half their meat, right? So it's a very, very slow meat process compared to other projects, right? There's many other projects that sold out in basically minutes, other maybe in a day, but this is going really, really slow, right? So when I saw this, I said, okay, let's see what happens, right? So there's one question: is just simply stalls forever and things just get stalled and it increases maybe 51, 52, 53 day by day, or it will give those big jumps. Yeah, let's see if this doesn't decelerate too much, right? So I was keeping an eye on that. We went to November 4, almost 10%. So we are talking about 10% increments, maybe every day or every 2 days. November 5, above 60%. Then they went to November 7, almost 70%. So I said, okay, it's steady increasing, just as they predicted, right? They predicted this properly, right? Because the other way it was just simply get stalled and there is no minting anymore, right? So what this means is that the community is growing, steadily growing. November 8, 75%. November 9, there were already less than 1,000 NFTs to be minted. November 10, 80% minted. And then from November 10, it's starting to move a little bit faster. November 11, 500 NFT left. And basically yesterday, today is November 13, there were 90% of NFTs minted. And even they said, okay, probably today, by the end of tonight, all the NFTs will be minted, right? So it was the story like that. All the NFTs were minted and it finished, right? So in all that process, I was really thinking, should I mint or not, right? Even in the last sprint of the minting, I said I could mint. Now the minting price was 0.88 Solana, 0.88 Solana. So I was okay. So I thought a little bit about minting or not minting. I knew it was going to end. It was going to be sold out. So I tried to understand a little bit more about that. Oh, sorry, and here we have a little bit more. As the day was going on, they went even 96% and basically sold out, right? Between the 12th and the 13th, right? So I was thinking, okay, I will not mint, and there's a good reason for that, right? And let me show you this in this next slide. Is I was thinking how their minting went. I said, okay, there was a big chunk that was minted in the first days, in the first 2 3 days. It was, I mean, not a lot, but a big chunk. So this is a rough estimate of how the minting process went. So here we are looking at the days since November 1st up to November 13, and this is the percentage of mint price, right? And what I observed is there was a big jump, big, of course, to the rate of minting of this project in particular, right? So it was a big jump in the first 3 days, roughly from zero, roughly from 0% to 50%, and then from there it went slowly minting, right? So the first thing I thought is, okay, what is happening, right? Why 50% it minted so fast and then it's building so slowly? So there's two things here. One is the early community adopters, the true believers of the project. They are minting into the project very, very early. So this is the first bump, right? And also there's the speculators, people that just are minting NFT projects like crazy, and the only goal of them of minting their different NFT projects is just to make money, right? So they want to mint, and they're expecting maybe the project to skyrocket. If it skyrockets, then they sell and they have their gains back, right? And so on, right? So that's how many people. And if they don't see the project skyrockets, they basically drop their NFTs and they take their loss, right? So to sell them very fast, they start selling at a lower price than the mint price. And you can see this in basically every NFT project, not every NFT project, but recently, specifically in the last month, you can see that happening in every NFT project, right? So it's something that is happening. So this is a combination of both, right? And then it went growing steadily, very slowly, with a little bit of acceleration into the end. But what this talks you is the people that came into the project to start meeting, starting from roughly 3 4 days after the mint started. These people, of course, they went to their Twitter, went to the website. They knew the minting process started 4 days before, right? So people that it's coming here are not speculators anymore. It's people that are looking into their project, are looking into their Twitter, are looking into their Discord. So these are new community adopters. It's people that is coming into the community. They are liking the project and they say, yes, I want to get into this project, right? And same happens, right, with this last acceleration is people that, as the community keeps growing, there's more tweets, there's more campaigns to let all the community, all people know about these projects. So people start coming and start minting as well, right? These are the late community adopters. So what I thought here, this project, if it keeps, even it's slow, but it keeps people minting, it's building a very, very solid community. And this is what a lot of projects are lacking, a solid community, right? You can see good projects, but you can see that after they mint, the listing of the NFTs, it's around 40%, right? 50% of the total supply. So that doesn't have a strong community, right? So what I thought, I said, I will not mint directly because there's a lot of speculators in here, right? And there's an advantage in there for these. If when these speculators that minted probably in the first 2 minutes, first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes, even the first day, after seeing this long process, they just want to be out of the project. And as soon the minting stops and they start being able to list their NFTs in the secondary market, they will start dumping those NFTs. Of course, not dumping at very, very low prices, but for sure there will be for lower prices. So I took that position. I said, okay, I will grab maybe a couple of NFTs at a low price, lower than the minting price. I will grab those from the speculators, or I will try to look, because even the speculators, even they don't take a look into what they are dumping. They might be dumping really, really good NFTs, right? or I will search for that rare NFT. So I went for both. And as I said, as soon as the marketplace was open, they start dumping, right? And I was looking at low prices, was trying to look a little bit into the different rankings, and soon I found a very nice NFT with very high ranking, very good ranking at a very low price. Someone didn't know what they dump, and I just simply grab it, right? And as I showed that in another video, this is one of the advantages when you go to secondary markets, that you are able to snipe either NFTs at a lower price. Of course, if you have a solid project, you can grab these NFTs at a lower price, or you can snipe very good NFTs. And also when I was talking with the community, a lot of people were also sniping many of these NFTs, right? So this is very good, right? It's building a very solid community. And just to give you an idea of how solid is this community, if we go now into the aftermarket places, you can see that there's roughly 500 NFTs in Solana art that are listed, and in Magic Eden around 250 NFTs. We're talking that about around 16% of the supply is being listed. 60%. So this means that 85% is retaining their NFTs, and this is so great. This is talking and this is supporting this idea. There is a very solid community, and in here I'm talking about that the solid community is 50% and above. But just by looking into those numbers I just show you, that 85%, of course a big chunk of these early community adopters is in here, that it's bringing this to 85%, right? So basically a small number are dumping their NFTs, right? And even if you go into Solana art and Magic Eden, of course there are some NFTs that are at lower prices, but there are not that many of those at low prices. From here, just it's a couple of rows, one, two rows, and then the ones that are listed are at least at the main price, right? So maybe this is people, early adopters. I don't think these are really community adopters. Maybe people that say, okay, the project is doing good, but I don't want to continue in this project. Maybe there were speculators, but they might be waiting to see what happens with this project. And same is happening in Magic Eden. So really good. This is good numbers. This is talking very good about the project itself, right? So I am very bullish in this project, right? So also, if you want to know, also they have they are talking about their what they call Saiba burst, and some of the short timelines. First of all, is that the manga series is written by Jessica Artemisa, and this is the person behind writing the story. This is a public person, and you can find her in Twitter. You can go to her Twitter account, and she talks about the project, how she's bullish, and she's been involved in other type of writing, very cool things. And also you can take a look into this website that is called, sorry if I don't know how to pronounce this properly, so Rarity, I don't know, something like that. And you can take a little bit more of this person, of the different projects she's involved, and really interesting. She's very involved in community-based media entertainment company. It's about storytelling, where fans become part of that universe, right? So really cool. If you want to find a little bit more about this person, just go into about, and also you can find her LinkedIn account, and also her Instagram and so on. So I'm really bullish in this project, right? So I grabbed my NFT. Believe me, I have one. At this moment, I will not reveal which is the NFT I grabbed, but believe me, I got an excellent deal. I'm extremely happy with the NFT I grabbed today. I'll show it later, but just want to let the community know the NFT I got is in the top 100, even I would say in the top 50, right? So one thing just to let know, at the moment they're waiting for the rarities to be in how rare is to be released, so you can find a little bit about the rarity of the NFTs in Moonrank. Now, one of the things is that in Moonrank, is very, very preliminary, those rarities, right? So it might be off. And that happened to me in another project. I used to have an NFT that was around of about 10,000 NFTs. I had one that was like 800, that it was shown like that in Moonrank. And when the final table of Rarity was released, it went from 800 to about 1500 or 1800, something like that. So yes, so that's why I don't want to today release which number of NFT I have, right? Which rank it has, but it's a very good NFT. Of course, if you go to the Discord, you can see the rarities, the tables of rarities, they beat themselves. So I made the combination the best I could, and yes, I have a rare one. I don't know how rare, so I'm expecting to be at least in the top 500. I'm very confident it will be in the top 200, but at the moment is below the first 50 places. So very, very, very bullish in this project. So one of my advice, of course, take this with a grain of salt, right? Don't sleep in Saiba gang. There's still time. Let's see what happens. But it's nice that the team is very transparent. The team is conscious of how they're targeting the different milestones in the roadmap. And something I really, really like is there will be approaching Solana developers, right, for building these things properly. This is really, really good. And even the mint was slow. It was good. It was a smooth mint. So I am really, really bullish in this project. If I mean, if you want, you can still find NFTs under the mint price. I think it's a good deal. So I think that's for today. If you like this video, smash that like button. If you have any comments, just leave your comments below. And well, thank you very much for following me today. I hope you have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.